welcome to BBC Sports, brought to you by WATCHERSvs. I'm Jan, the host of the show. We're here to cover the exciting match of MALMÖ Bikes and the Watchers. Let's switch to the pre-match interviews with the Watchers.
Hello Nigel, how are you?
I'm good, you?
I'm fine. So I grabbed you right here in a moment because I wanted to ask you some questions regarding the preparation and the expectation for today's match as well. So the first question I would like to ask you is, who would you consider to be the star player in your team?
I gotta say either it's between Even or Kirill, because Even, he's aggressive, he's good, he's agile, he has speed. Then there's also Kirill, he's the best goalie I think in our whole team. He's better than anyone else in the goalie. He knows how to catch the balls and prevent other team from scoring.
So even though he's goalie, you would consider him as a star player?
Yeah.
All right. Good to know. So my second question I would like to ask is, how will you utilize either Even or Kirill to beat the opposing team?
I'd say different. They're good with different positions. So I'd say put them at the pivot, and try and get them at the offense. And I'd say Kirill at the defense and Even at the offense. That's a good combo.
So, who do you think is the biggest threat in the other team? How do you plan on overcoming that threat?
Vilgot's probably, because someone high would be the biggest threat, because he's got height on everyone.
Absolutely.
But he's not here right now, right? He's in India. He's on vacation. So I say Vilgot is the threat, because he's like Even, but he's just faster. He's got more skill. He's really good at shooting. And I'd say the way to overcome that challenge is to get him tired, but also try and distract him while we are playing. So distract him with the ball and then pass the ball to someone else. So and then that person would shoot.
Yeah.
So try and get the ball away from him. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Vilgot is very good, and he could be a challenge from time to time. So another question I would like to ask you is very general. Is how are you feeling going into today's match?
I'm feeling better than usual. I'm feeling more, energized. I have a better mindset than before, and I think we have good chances for today.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Last but not least, before you have utilized high pressure after ball loss, will this also apply in this match? Do you think that a lot of ball loss will be applied in this match?
It's possible. I don't really know how to I can't really predict it right now, but I feel though it's possible. It's a possibility.
Who do you think is going to be that biggest threat that is going to make you lose your ball?
I'd say Hakim or Vilgot.
All right, Nigel, thank you so much for the interview.
Thanks.
Have a great day.
You too.
And a match. Good luck.
That was interesting. Now let's move on to the highlights. To the mid-game interviews with the Watchers. Let's see how they're doing.
So your team is currently losing. How are you planning to fix this?
Probably better offense here. I think we're shooting too fast, so we need to slow down that and let's just pass more, and then hopefully we get some opportunities in there.
I did this. Good answer. How would you rate your current performance so far? Your individual performance?
Maybe a 6. I think I'm very good at defense, but offense, I think I pass it too fast, and I should do some individual plays and try to score something.
Okay, you're very good. Your team is very good at defending. Would you say that's your biggest strength?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're really good at defense, but offense, we probably are the worst team here.
Okay, well, positivity. All right, thank you very much.
Presented to you by Night Vision.
Well, it looks like they're not doing so well. Let's hope they can make it better.
Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's close. Maybe they'll succeed next time. And now let's move on to the post-game interviews.
Hey Bob, what do you think How did your team perform overall in that final match?
I think that we performed pretty good. We ended up with a score of 5-6, 5-6, which I think was pretty good considering we had a few people missing last week, so we didn't have as much practice. But overall, I think that we did pretty good.
How do you feel about that big comeback, 5-6? You gained over 2 points in the past 10 minutes, while the other team could only gain 1 point. How do you think that you got to that point with the help of your team?
I think that we managed to get into the game better. We had more of an idea. We decided to switch positions more, which I think gave us more of a chance to see where people's strengths were.
Do you think that in the second match, the people's spirits were higher?
Oh, well, yeah, because we started to score more, we were working better together, we had planned more. We've had more time to discuss things, to see after what happened after the other game.
When you tried to attempt to score a goal, do you think, what do you think could have gone better at that moment?
I could have scored.
Great. So, thank you so much, and good luck on the rest of your matches.
Thank you.
Bye.
A close game, but eventually Malmö Bikes came out on top. Let's hope they will succeed in the future. And now let's move on to Manhai with analysis.
I'm Manhai, and I'm here to analyze some important plays from the first half. We've started off the match with the Malmö Bikes in possession, and from the current layout of the game, we are able to see that the Watchers, who are playing defense currently, have set up in zone defense with having the taller players in the middle and the defense line right around the 6-meter line. This setup will indeed slow down the play tempo, which could be great against the Malmö Bikes, who are a team known for faster plays and quicker finishes. And they are more centered around the middle. Hence, having Magnus and Nigel, taller players in the center, could definitely make it harder for their primary shooter Hakim to break through due to the difference in height. Though this may open up the corners for Malmö Bikes, which we can see back here are left open, but they're harder to utilize and optimize on. For the Malmö Bikes, they have set up a very offensive strategy by having the goalkeeper Eli also playing outfield, and these extra numbers could indeed help break the zone defense, which is set up by the Watchers. And to break this zone defense, their passing has to be faster to catch the defense line off guard, and also use those corners which I mentioned before. For this match, Sangman's footwork and physical strength will be vital in creating space between the defense line to open gaps for easy shots. During the first play of the game, we can see that there has been a tension shot at goal after moving the ball around the whole field, with multiple fake shots and a great defense line by the Watchers. To break this down, we can start in the beginning, after the throw-off, where the ball has been passed around the middle in a rather slow tempo. Though, as we see in many Malmö Bike plays, they tend to exponentially increase the pace of the game with someone leaving their position and finding an opening shot. And in this case, we can see that Hakim leaves his position and tries to find an open shot. And as Hakim receives the ball, Sangbin is doing great to try and open a gap within the line, though Bella and Isabel do great moving over to the right and cover the space lost by Magnus. This leaves Hakim with no choice but to fake his shot and find a new opening. During this small time frame, the defense line has worked great with keeping their hands up and following the movements of each other to capitalize on covering maximum territory, whilst the Malmö Bikes have struggled to break out a sudden change in tempo to have a shot. As Hakim continues towards the right corner, he tries to switch the play over to the left side to Anna. Here, Sophia and Isabel are quickly shifted to blocking any opportunity of taking a shot. This results a pass back to the middle, where Sangbin ends up taking another chance, using a fake shot and a bounce to catch distance between him and Lawrence, though can't end with a clean jump shot to finish the job. In this next play, we will get to see some insight into how the Watchers played on offense. Their strategy was to play the ball to the players on the wings, where the Malmö Bike's defense is not as strong. As you can see, the ball is first passed from Kirill, the goalkeeper, to Ivan, who then keeps the ball playing over to Isabel onto the same corner. We can see that Hakim does do some high pressuring, and then we can see that Sofia gets the ball on the wing, where she gets an early goal. And based on the positioning of the other players, we can see that they trust the weaker players to score goals because they aren't as heavily marked. Nigel and Lawrence are both seen calling for the ball open and close to the goal, and they were ready for a shot. Throughout, they will have shot opportunities, especially since Malmö's defense, they go with a man-on-man approach, with especially tight marking on Magnus, who they know is a strong player. Though we can see earlier on that Hakim seems to be pressuring the opponents very high upfield, and he's probably looking for mistakes he can capitalize on. The Watchers' winning hopes relied on players like Nigel, Lawrence, and Bella outperforming themselves by scoring any shot opportunities they had. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen in the game, but here we can see a very nice standing shot by Sofia that bounces right into the goal. From this play, we'll see the first goal that was awarded to the Mountain Bikes, and this goal outlines why the Watchers went under in the first half, and we can conclude that it was from simply lazy defending. And after the Mountain Bikes are awarded a free kick, many players on the Watchers are walking when they should be instead running back to the help on defense, and this results in a 2-on-1 for the Mountain Bikes, where Sangbin easily finishes. The lack of urgency from the Watchers cost them a few goals later on, and perhaps even the game. However, credit must be given to the Mountain Bikes, who were quick to act every time an opportunity was presented. This goal could have easily been avoided if the Watchers were quick on their feet and got back into that defense line, blocking every opportunity given. It is once again demonstrated how the lack of knowing your surroundings has led to an easy goal for the Malmös. We're able to view how Kirill tries to pass the ball to Ivan, though due to a miscommunication, they have lost the possession as Hakim, who was pressuring high up on the field, capitalizes on his opportunity at the goal. Small mistakes such as these are evident throughout the match and may have also costed them the match. This could have been easily avoided with a little more communication and knowing how certain players on the other team play. As we have seen before as well, the Hakim is a player who likes to pressure high up on the field. Throughout this match, it's been very hard for the Malmös to break through the Watchers' defense line. The few times the Malmös were able to break through the Watchers' defense, it was due to Sangbin's footwork. As seen in this clip, the goal is surrounded by a defensive line with a very thoughtful selection of players in certain positions. And throughout the game, the Mountain Bikes have yet been able to break through this barrier. And this is working because it controls the space 6 meters in front of the goal, and to get past this, it requires excellent teamwork or footwork needed to be present, which happened rarely in the case of mountain bikes. Here, in this clip, we are able to see that Sangbin uses excellent footwork to get past Magnus, which at the same time creates a small gap between Bella and Nigel, which Sangbin optimizes on and uses it to take a very easy jump shot. And he has no problem finishing and converts the shot into a goal. We see this has mainly happened because Magnus has overstepped and challenged Sangbin, which left a gap in the middle between Nigel and Bella. This was very rarely seen in the game. Whenever it happened, it created a very nice opportunity for the mountain bikes to score a goal. This moment will show how the Watchers have been able to not leave any gaps for Sangbin or Hakim to take advantage of and score easy points. The Watchers again have set up in their signature zone defense. Hakim attempts to fake shoot and then shoot, yet it yields no result. We saw many times in this half how the mountain bikes struggled to get past this wall. As seen in this clip, no one oversteps, leaving no gaps for Hakim and Sangbin to take advantage of. This defense is very high level once in formation. If only their offense wasn't lacking, they could have really capitalized on their their offensive opportunities and scored multiple goals. Right here shows why the Watchers struggled on offense. Magnus in the left corner is seen closely man-marked with two people on him, leaving him no chance of getting an effective shot at goal. As talked about previously, Lawrence is left wide open in the middle, and we can see that Magnus sees this and takes the opportunity to pass to him. Though, unfortunately, Lawrence can't muster out a powerful enough shot. If Lawrence and the others could have been more efficient with their shots throughout the game, this game would have been a whole different story. And Magnus here gets a chance to shoot off the rebound, though he unfortunately misses, and we can see that these shots taken by the weaker players could have been converted into goals, only if they trained hard enough during the earlier.
Thank you very much, Munhayi. And now let's move on to the second half analysis with Savannah.
Thank you. So, the first play I will be analysing is 2 minutes and 17 seconds into the match. In this play, the Watchers counter-attack quickly. They smartly shift play to the right wing, creating a 3-on-1 versus Anna. As Manhayu said, this side is void of opponents because they are too focused on marking Even and Magnus. The ball goes to Nigel, who is basically free in front of goal, but again just can't convert. So many times, golden opportunities in front of goal have been wasted due to subpar shots. In fact, statistics from the end of the game show that the Watchers had 2 more shots than the MALMÖ bikes, yet they lost by 2. The second play is at 2 minutes and 43 seconds into the game. As you can see here, one of their goals came from a suburb shot by Even. He wasn't marked because he was still very far out from the goal. They didn't expect him to be able to generate a shot with such power. This shows the difference in quality between Even and some of the other players in regards to shooting. This was his second shot in the game, which he converted well, whereas the other team members had a total of 9 shots with only 2 goals. This points towards the effectiveness of the MALMÖ bike's defence, who was able to keep the main goal scorer to only 2 shots. By focusing on the 2 main goal scorers, they were able to neutralise their biggest threats. They put their trust in the fact that the rest of the team wasn't good at shooting, and it worked. The final play I will be analysing happens at 8 minutes and 36 seconds into the game. The final play I will be analysing happened at 8 minutes and 36 seconds into the game. As you can see, for one final time, almost all of the MALMÖ bike's goals are through gifts from the opponent. It was a bad pass from Isabel right into the centre of the field, where there was a big gap in space. Ellie was also miles quicker in reacting to the ball than Nigel or Magnus. Ultimately, it seems as if Ellie was on his toes much more. As has been apparent through the whole game, most of the MALMÖ bike's goals were from lazy or slow defending by the Watchers, with only 1 goal that penetrated the defence. That was my analysis for the second half of the game. Back to you, Jan.
Thank you so much, Manhayu and Savannah, for the analysis. It's unfortunate that the Watchers couldn't be as effective at shooting, but that's all we got for you today, and I will see you next time on BBC Sports, sponsored by Recon.